Thank you very much. Good afternoon, everybody. Uh, the Army does not view community colleges as possibly the civil world views them. To explain that, I will have to take a minute and explain what Army is all about as concerned with the community colleges. We get our inputs, we get our manpower basically from the rural area. They are either 12th pass or maybe even less. They join the Army at about 18 years of age, 16 to 18 years of age, and remain with us for at least 17 years, which means they start retiring at 34 years, when most of their civil counterparts are still searching for a job or have just joined a job. Here, there's a soldier who retires at 34 years of age, and he's looking for a second career. All of them retire by about 50 to 52 years of age. But 50% retire at 34 years. Keep that in mind. What happens in this intervening 17 years is, although the primary task of the Army is to fight a war, but as you're all aware, wars don't happen every day. So to keep a standing Army ready for war at all times, we have all aspects of civil life integrated into our own small community of the Army, which runs as a mirror image of the civil society, which effectively means that whatever sphere you have in the civil, we have an equivalent in the Army. Be it the medical, we have our own medicals. Be it the hospitality, we call them messes, but it is the same thing. Be it secretarial services, we have our own secretarial services. Communications, I am from the communication field. But we look at it a little differently. But we manage it self-contained. We do not depend on the civil. Unlike the other paramilitary forces in the Army, we do not depend on the civil because of obvious reasons. Which leads to the fact that during the 17 years, this boy, a physically fit boy who has joined the Army, is trained in all aspects of the profession he has joined, not only soldiering. If he has joined the communication field, he will be converted into a communication professional. And he will be trained for that during these 17 years. We have our own training facilities. We have our own training curriculum, which is as good, if not better, than most civil training facilities available. I'm not saying that. The Indira Gandhi University set up a committee to go and examine our colleges, our training centers, and they came back with a report saying that this infrastructure which is available is better than any which is available in academic institutions in India and maybe abroad. So that is the type of facilities which we maintain, which most people are not aware of. During his lifetime in the Army, he spends about 60 to 70% of his time training. And this training is structured training. He gets certified by the Army for this training, with the result that he is a professional with a lot of confidence, with a lot of self-respect while he's in the Army. But unfortunately, the moment he leaves the Army, when he has to look for a second career, he is looked upon as unskilled labor. And it pains us to see that most of them are joining as guards in private security firms, getting a pittance. Their cost to company while in the Army was huge. They go out and they get about 4,000, 6,000, 7,000 rupees a month, which brings his self-esteem down. Maybe that might be a contributor to the fact that most of the Jawans who leave die young. Maybe. We are still studying that. It could be. But what that egged us on to was that this person who, while in the Army, was a professional and who was loyal, hardworking, and an achiever, suddenly finds himself to be out of place in the civil world. So we sat down and thought that we must do something about it. We will not wait for anybody else from outside to do something. And we realized that there are three things we have to do. One is get him certification. Because whatever he's done in the Army is good, but he doesn't have a certificate to back it up. Second, train him in soft skills. Train him in the IT, train him in English speaking, because that is required across all fields. And thirdly, train him in vocational training facilities, and then get him a job. and sit on the table with him to see that he doesn't get cheated. So with that in view, when I went to the Vice Chancellor on 4th of July 2009, we didn't know what is community college. Professor Pillai and I sat for about 20 minutes, and within 20 minutes we had decided that we will go ahead with this program. 4th of August, we made a presentation to the Academic Council, it was approved. And 4th of September, we signed the MOU. Today, we have almost 3 lakh registrations. And we have distributed 3,000 degrees, certificates, diplomas. And there are about 40,000 pending, which are going to get distributed in the next about 3 to 4 months. While this was on, concurrently we got into a MOU with Microsoft India to do a CSR program with us to train the trainers in IT and English, and we codenamed it Project Shamta. You must have heard of it. That became a runaway success, and there is grassroots requirement for this program all across the Indian Army. So in about 50 of our training establishments, we did this twice over. And today, the people who have been trained there are going around and training the rest of the Indian Army in IT skills and soft skills, because that is a mandatory requirement wherever they want to get employed. Thereafter, simultaneously, we got in touch with industry. And we are still asking people, what is your requirement? Tell us what field you want people of. How do you want them to do translational changing from Army into civil? Set up a vocational training institute along with us in our premises or your premises, train the people you have selected, but employ them thereafter. This has also been a success, and this is what we are now currently focusing on. And since it is part of the community college, the Indira Gandhi University has come forward, and they have recognized this as a diploma. Both the Microsoft training has been recognized as a diploma by IGNOU, so it adds to the credits of the boy who's doing Gyandeep. And even the vocational training skills, depending on the number of hours he's being trained, gets recognized, which further adds on to his credits to get a degree. But we didn't rest content here. We thought we must extend the example of Gyandeep even to people who want to get into management. And very recently, about not even a month back, the Academic Council has approved a recognition of in-service training of officers up to the extent of 30% waiver of credits for an MBA degree. And there is overwhelming response. My team is sitting here, and within about 10 days, they are flooded with applications to do this MBA course. That means there is a demand. All we have done is facilitated that demand. Why we have gone the community college route is not because we pre-planned it, but because it met the ends that we were looking for. We have not set up community colleges on our own. They were existing. They got recognized, and they got supplemented. What has Indira Gandhi University gained out of it? We had courses which we were doing for our boys, and which were of relevance in the civil field. We have given it to them, in the process of giving it to them to be offered to the rest of the population. In effect, I can say that we are helping in nation building. And I would invite all of you to participate in this nation building exercise and join hands with us to employ these people who are leaving the army. Thank you very much.
Excellent.